What modifications, if any, would you support and suggest to your fellow board members in the area of school lunches and food services?
This is a great question as it applies to our schools. I'll say what I said at the League of Women Voters. We are what we eat. We need to have nutritionally sound food choices for our kids. For the at-risk population, it may be the only nutritionally sound meal they get, or one of them. We need to have real food. It needs to be nutritionally sound, and to move away from processed greasy foods as much as possible. So my discussion with my potential board members would be to encourage them to have as many natural food choices as possible and as healthy as possible. Thank you.
When I ran for the school board appointment back in December, actually, school lunches was one of my highest priorities at that time. There is a lot of research and documentation, correlation between a good, sound, nutritionally sound lunch program and the ability to focus and the ability to perform within a classroom. The number of behavioral issues are very much decreased. They've shown that in juvenile hall facilities as well as just in the general classroom. I think I said in the League of Women Voters Forum that it incenses me when I look up and I see my middle schoolers had Twix and French fries for lunch, and I hate to say it, but that is the truth. If I pack them a lunch, sometimes they trade. It needs to be a good, sound, non-processed lunch program that I feel needs to be completely overhauled.
Well, I think that the school lunches and service. While I haven't eaten there in a long time, I do know when I was on the financial committee, that was something that was brought up, and there is a concern by parents of the food quality. And when I say food quality, that doesn't mean that we're serving bad food. I think it's more healthy choices. The difference is when you give a child a choice, they're usually going to gravitate to the hamburgers and the fries as opposed to the salads and the healthier things. I think we need to actually start training our kids and getting them to look at a healthier lifestyle and a healthier way of living to go forward with it. The other thing that always kind of, I don't want to say bothered me, but puzzled me was the fact that we would go through and we wanted to make sure we pushed school lunches to be as healthy as we could, and to make sure that we had milk and we had juice and we had everything, but then we would put pop machines in our buildings because it was revenue generating, which isn't bad, but at the same time kind of defeats the purpose of making sure that you go through and have a healthier lifestyle. I think that you can do it with cost. There's many of you I know have seen the show where Jamie Allison goes through and takes over a school district and shows them how to eat healthy. I think that there's merit to that. I think that there's merit to looking at the way to provide the students the best meals they can. The other thing we have to remember is that we do have a significant number of free and reduced lunches, and for the free and reduced lunch students, this may be one of the meals that they have that is their mainstay, their main meal that they have for the day. And while we don't think of it because we like to in Huron Valley be we do have more affluency, but at the same token we still have especially with the economy the concerns with some of the poverty that we have to go through and address. So my concern is with those students as well, to make sure that we go through and provide them the best we can. And I think that there's ways to go through and be cost effective and still go through and deliver the quality food lunches that are healthy for the kids.
Well, as a parent of a 6th and 7th grader who go to Elk Valley, I have had problems with the lunch program for some years. I really feel like we serve way too much processed food. I would love to see the district go to a more fresh food type menu using local suppliers. Freshly made meals instead of processed meals that are shipped from one building across the district, being served lukewarm, high in salt, high in fat content, low in nutritional value. If our students aren't getting a proper meal at lunch and getting a proper nutrition, I truly believe it's going to affect their educational performance throughout the rest of the day. So I would be absolutely in favor of talking to anybody who's an expert in this area to improve our school lunch program. I don't see the benefit of serving all the processed foods that we serve now. I, for one, when I go on and look at what my son or my daughter has ordered and bought through their school lunch program, on a daily basis it is an issue in my house, the things that they buy and feed themselves that are outside of my control.